kind of witness how it all comes together was very, very interesting.
It sounds like it. It sounds like a heck of a trip, if you ask me. And
Yeah.
I've never had the pleasure of going to China. I probably never will, but I'm sure it's a lovely place, of course.
It was very interesting, and the two extremes, getting away from the actual connection to why we were there, the two extremes that really caught me from a standpoint of just being an American first time in China. You definitely know you're not in Kansas anymore the second you walk through customs. As Americanized as it looks to us sometimes, it's not like that at all. You walk in there and there's, Chairman Mao is still on all the money. And, there's people standing around in uniform no matter where you go, and everything is very neat and orderly. And as soon as you step in there, you kind of know this is not my home, and I better not step out of line if I want to be able to leave here.
It's not your
But I know
mom,
a lot
it's
of people
China.
do, but I know a lot of people get very used to, I've got a lot of friends that are over there all the time doing business. So I probably saw that a little more for what it was than people that do business there all the time. The second extreme, though, was one night they took us out to dinner to this wonderful restaurant, and the food over there was very, very good. They were wonderful hosts. We had a great time. And then they took us to the most over-the-top circus I've ever seen in my entire life. I haven't been to a circus in a long time, but this was not Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. I mean, it was, pyro, people dropping out of the ceiling, and laser shows and light shows, and one of the best sound systems I've ever heard in my life. Really, really amazing.
And that was just in the bathrooms.
Were they running the Behringer X32 in their sound system? Did you get a chance to go back and look?
I didn't get a chance to go see that at the circus, but I will say one thing, that at the Behringer factory, every single thing during the tour that they used, and everything that they used on the second night, they had they put on like a banquet for everybody and invited, this was really amazing. Uli Behringer actually had buses and brought over all of his employees for this second night event to honor his American guests and his guests from these different countries that had come to this event, and had them all line up in this huge line. So as we came in, we were getting this unbelievable applause from all of his, from this, we were walking this gauntlet basically with these employees, 3,000 employees total, about 1,500 on either side clapping for us and cheering and all of this. And it was one of the most surreal moments of my entire life. It was very, very strange.
Well, I guess, a lot of people say they do it big in Texas, but I guess they do it just as big in China.
Yeah, definitely. And, again, I mean, I was very, very grateful, and we all were very grateful to Uli and his staff over there for the fantastic job they did of hosting this and helping us to get around. I've been to Europe before, and in certain European countries like Germany or Spain, you can kind of get by if you don't know the language. In China, you haven't got a prayer. If it's just so different. You can't even draw pictures or anything. And
culture shock.
Yeah. So, if you're, and it only happened to us once while we were trying to get to the airport on the third day at 4:00 in the morning, trying to tell a taxi driver where we were trying to go, because in order to get to the airport, we had to go to a ferry boat first.
Oh, Lord.
So to get back to where the airport was, we had to try to get to this ferry thing. And, fortunately, word got back to one of the Behringer people that, there were two lost Americans running around China, and somebody better go help them soon.
Oh, good Lord.
And, so that was an adventure in itself.
Sounds like a great story for a movie.
Yeah, actually, it probably could have been. I mean, I suppose, like I said, people that go over there all the time, it's no big deal. But I had never in my life envisioned going to China. I'm glad I had the opportunity to, and I probably will never go back there again. I mean, I've been to India before, but China was even much, much more different than even India.
Well, I'm glad you weren't lost in China. Glad you made it back. So do me a favor and tell me, since we haven't had you on for a couple of months, what's new? What's going on over at the Live to Play Network, Sound Pro Live, and what's going on with all our friends over there?
Well, we're just kind of trying to stay on top of things the best that we can. We will have very shortly, and I can't give you the exact date yet, but we are really working on a major update to our website. And basically what that's going to be is a single website that will be sort of an umbrella site. So when people go there, you can select the kind of things that you have the greatest interest in, and then it will direct you either to Live to Play, Sound Pro Live, or Live to Play Worship. In other words, it'll sort of create a custom site for you. And we've got somebody working on that right now. We've got a team of people working on that, and really looking forward to hopefully having that up and live by, well, it's supposed to be June 1st, but we all know how that works. So, yeah. So we're working on that. But we've got some interesting content up there. We've been got a guy named Riley Wilson that's been writing the series for us on for solo giggers on how to pick up jobs in restaurants and why he thinks everybody that can sing and play should have a restaurant gig. I just put up one today that's kind of interesting. There's a lot of chatter again all of a sudden about the different copyright laws in the U.S. and how messed up they are. And there's this representative down in Tom's neck of the woods, Nadler. I think his name is Gerald Nadler. He's a representative from New York City, and he has, apparently he is a musician himself, and he's pushing forward on some legislation to really kind of bring all the copyright laws up to speed. So I just put up a post about that a short time ago if anyone is interested in that. And that even covers, and that even goes into the whole internet radio thing.
Very cool.
Because, as it's the way things have evolved, AM and FM radio at this point don't really pay anything to the artists. Right. But internet radio, since you would know, Rich, I think 1995, have, the rules are different and very expensive. Yeah. And it makes it, a lot of internet radio stations I know closed down when they started that. And that's really unfortunate because it's internet radio that is promoting the indie artists, not the terrestrial AM and FM stations anymore. They're all just doing the mainstream stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. And I definitely encourage people to go to livetoplay.com and click on that article. And there's a place in there that if they feel interested in voicing their opinion to Congress, there's a link I put in there that they can click on and sign a petition to help move that ahead as well.
Awesome. Well, definitely looking forward to reading that article as well as everything else over at the Live to Play Network. Now, I know that I'm not going to name names, but there's some guy from some place that we're all familiar with who might be doing a little something for you guys as well.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Tom, how's things going? How are things going on that? Tom's been working on a review for us and for a Behringer mixer, and very interested to see how that's going.
I'm just overjoyed with the abundance of, it's got features that, you don't get until you start spending 3-4 times the amount. It's a great board, and it's great fun to work on, and probably be about 2 months before I come out, because I'm just going to sit here and play all day. It's just the thrill of getting a good piece of equipment and going back retro, and everybody's on the cutting edge of digital. But, analog has also been going and getting better and better as time goes on. It never stopped, It's just digitalization has taken the front row. And now, what was $10,000 5 years ago, you can get for a lot less. And, just a little sneak preview. Behringer has done a great deal of smart engineering and designing on this Eurodesk, and it's just full of features that you just don't normally get, and I've been just exploring them all.
So when are we going to potentially see your article then, Tom?
Well, I've got to wait until the top part of my hair grows in, because I'm going to do a video.
Oh, no. Please, say it ain't so. All right. Well, Robert, we're glad you're back with us. Glad to have you back on the broadcast, of course. We've got some great tunes for you, for Ian and Tom to listen to today. So what say we just get right to it and start out the day with our first song. And let me just let everybody know this is the song of the week from the 4th of May. And it's by a gentleman named Mark Bouts, and it's called Something to Talk About. So here is the first track of the day, Something to Talk About, from Mark Bouts here on the Hit List. Enjoy it, everyone. Song number 1.
Woke up this morning to summer skies, drawing from light of the days passing by. The radio's up and the shower's on. The morning paper's always on the lawn. And you don't know anything about me. Oh, but I don't seem to care. Like an angel coming down, like a star that hits the ground. I will give you something to talk about. Like an old familiar friend can push you until you bend. Yeah, yeah, I will give you something to talk about. Yeah. Takes almost nothing to start the day, and mixing up colors to make them gray. These people and faces are killing time, yeah. It takes almost nothing and now you're mine. And now you know everything about me. Come on, baby, let's take the dive. Like an angel coming down, like a star that hits the ground. And baby, you're my something to talk about now. If the stars go out tonight, baby, I will light your darkened sky. And baby, you're my something to talk about now. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Like an angel coming down, like a star that hits the ground. And baby, you're my something to talk about now. If the stars go out tonight, baby, I will light your darkened sky. Baby, you're my something to talk about now. Baby, you're my something to talk about now. Yeah, yeah. Baby, you're my something to talk about. Yeah, yeah. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
That is track number 1. That's Mark Bouts and his song Something to Talk About on the broadcast. And what do you think, guys? Ian, we'll start with you. I know everyone's heard this song before, but kind of a nice track to hear again.
Yes, it is. It's well recorded, well performed. Everything's just there, and you can hear all the instruments clearly. It's got a nice groove to it. It's got that sort of summer laid-back groove to it, which is suitable for the hot weather I'm sitting in. So yeah, still like this, and not many complaints at all, really.
All right, cool to hear. And Robert, I know that you took the opportunity to listen to the tracks ahead of time, like we always do on the Hit List. What What do you think about this particular track?
Great example of less is more. I mean, it's just a simple song, but it it's a great earworm song. It's very hard to get that out of your head. It's like Ian said there. It's just got a great hook to it, and it just kind of stays with you. I think it's a real nice tune, well done, good voice, and good listening.
All right, and of course, Tom, I know that you have some thoughts about this track as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I was on vacation when this played. I think it's a great track, as everybody said, well recorded. Production is there. It sounded just a tad bit crowded, and it's a mix issue. The only other thing that I mean, I love the guy's voice. They could have used a little bit more backgrounds, but this has a very nice swing feel to it, and I think if they emphasize that a little bit more. The drummer from the Dave Matthews Band is very good at hitting off accents and just filling tastefully, not overplaying, but really getting a groove going. And nothing against this drummer, because this drummer was fine. But that's the only thing I felt that would push this track a little bit further to make it seem a lot more free-flowing than structuralized. And other than that, though, I mean, that's just a personal preference. When something's got a good groove like this, I want to push it,
All right, well, that makes sense. I appreciate your thoughts. Again, that's Mark Bouts with Something to Talk About. The song of the week, or the song selection of the week from the 4th of May, when Ian Blackwood was our guest panelist on the broadcast. We're going to get ready to listen to song number 2. Coming up right now. And again, I want to remind everybody that the hit list is brought to you by the Live to Play Network. The guys over at the Live to Play Sound Pro Live really are a great group of guys, and we love having Robert with us every month. We can get him, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and take a listen to track number 2. This comes from us on the 11th of May when Tom Oswald was our guest panelist. The name of the song is called Assemblies, and it's from a group called Sack the City. So here it is, Sack the City with their track Assemblies on the hit.
These men come down here from New York and from Florida to find out my reasons of rock and roll music and why I preach against it, and I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today.
There is a ghost out in the street. I saw my best friends watching me crying. This is your curse left unto me. Abuse and relax, forget how to speak. So much while I was thinking, all of my words will fall asleep when they do wake them, and you'll wake me. I'm not gone, oh, I'm not gone. But I'm growing stronger. I'm not gone, I'm not gone.
That's Sack the City with their track called Assemblies as the song of the week from the 11th of May 2014. Robert, what do you think of that track?
I like the vocalist reminded me a lot of Joe Jackson almost. The sound of his voice, I like that. I like the bluesiness of it, the edginess, that kind of raw energy that was in it. Lots of changes going on that kept it very interesting. I have no idea at all what that dialogue was in there for. In the beginning and the end. Yeah. I didn't get it. I didn't get that. The rest of it, I thought was great.
That's a real good point about the dialogue. Tommy, how about you? I know that you weren't with us during the broadcast in May, but what do you think about this track now?
I think the evil that is rock and roll has come and inseminated our youth with the overflowing spillage of the fight for yearningness and sexual restraint.
What?
And outside of that, it's a very dark song, mix-wise.
Is that cool. What all that other stuff meant? It was a dark song?
I don't know why it was in there. It was for drama, obviously. The snare was a little splatty for me. Again, very well produced. I really liked what the drummer was doing. The Joe Jackson inference was really, that kind of hit it for me. Again, well produced. I think that, if there could be more relevance between what that talking piece was and the lyrics a little bit more, even though you could hear everything, sometimes, this track didn't do the dynamic change as much as it did the parts changing. So that's what made it interesting. The dynamics were pretty much lateral. But overall, it's a good track, a little dark on the mix, a little dark on the material, but I liked it.
All right, well, I appreciate your thoughts there, Tommy. Yes, Ian, you are correct on your emoticon. And what do you think about this track?
Yeah, dark, dingy. I liked it. I think I said on the show it's like The Cure and the Nine Inch Nails got together and had a love child. And this was the result. I think this would be great on a soundtrack, something like The Crow or something like that. You could really hear this sort of playing on that sort of film. And I think that's what the sound effects at the front and the back were. It was to sort of give it that as Tom said, that drama and that almost that soundtrack effect in its own right. And like the guy's vocalist, like that little hook, and the sort of the time changes and the arrangement worked really, really well. Lots of thought gone into this. Did like it.
All right, very cool track as well. Again, Sack the City with Assemblies. As we're moving on, we're going to change the pace up a little bit. Actually, we're not, but the group is from the 18th of May. They're called Fox Blossom. Try saying that 12 times fast.
Fox Blossom, Fox Blossom, Fox Blossom.
It's not easy to say, regardless of how well Tom says it. I'm just saying. It really isn't. So here they are, Fox Blossom with their track Raleigh on the hit list. Here you go, everyone. This is Raleigh. Enjoy it.
Train tracks led me far away. They put holes in the shoes my mama made. Took her heart with me by mistake. But I think about her every single day. Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let that river wash away my sins. Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let me see my loving girl again. Well, my backpack, I filled it with regret now. But I'm too far gone for redemption. Her spirit, it sinks its Let that river wash away my sins. Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let me see my loving girl again. Golden fields I have traveled through, just like her hair, but her eyes cornflower blue. Crystal streams, pure as her soul. My angel's love will my soul renew. And Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let that river wash away my sins. Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let me see my loving girl again. Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let that river wash away my sins. Lord, take me home to Raleigh. Let me see my loving girl again.
That's Fox Blossom with their track Raleigh. And let's go over to Tom, get his thoughts on this first. Tommy, what do you think about Fox Blossom?
Interesting, traditional country. I would have liked to have this done in the style of country grunge. I'm going to come up with a new genre. No, they didn't have like washboards in it, or some of the more really early country, little dirtiness in there. It was a little too slick, a little too clean, but it's a good song. It's traditional. It's got that old like 3-chord boogie that you get in rock. This is however many chords you get in country. With the banjo, there were some tuning issues between the fiddle, the banjo, and the guitar. I would have liked to heard a little bit more driving from the drums and the perc, but that's it's still well done.
All right, and over to Ian, as Trilo out in the chat room says, it reminds me of the stuff they listened to back before they invented better music. I don't know what that means, Ian. Why don't you try and explain it to me? What do you think or remember of this track?
Yeah, I do like this track. I mean, there are a few timing issues as well as tuning issues throughout the track, but I it's kind of that sort of track that you kind of go, well, yeah, well, it is what it is, as our friend Rick would say. And you kind of accept that it's part of that sort of live country feel that they brought to the top sort of table with this. Personally, I don't think it's too slick. I think it's just about right for where they're aiming. Good vocals, love the banjo sound and the fiddling there as well. I mean, there's a lot of nice stuff going on here, and overall a good track.
All right, Ian. And over to Robert from the Live to Play Network. Robert, your thoughts on this particular track?
I had mixed feelings on it, Rich. It definitely, the playing is good, the vocals are good, nothing wrong with the lyrics. Obviously, they're heavily into Raleigh, but I think it needs an injection of, like Tom said, Dexy's Midnight Runners. It needs a little bit more of that kind of oomph to it, or something that gets it, something to just kind of take it a little closer to the edge. It just seemed to me like it didn't really go anywhere, and that's like, and like Ian said, it is what it is. It's just kind of a folksy country tune that didn't really go anywhere.
I think they should team up with Metallica.
There you go.
There you go. Why not? Country grunge. I like it. That's what Carol says out in the chat room.
You see, we over here in England, country grunge to us is Americana. Bands like Blackstone Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree with that?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're just making stuff up now. So
No, Blackstone Cherry, it's basically heavy rock, heavily influenced with country.
Okay, I believe you. I think.
Go
Anyway,
check them out. I'm going to see them at Wembley
will.
in November. So.
I will. And guest panelist during that program, 18 May, was Live to Play's very own Andrea Bensmiller. And has she written any articles of late for the Live to Play guys and gals over on the network, Bob?
I'm not too sure. Nothing comes to mind right off the top, but I know she's been doing a lot of different projects, and has definitely been keeping very active on Facebook for us and a lot of other social things.
Yeah, she's always busy. There is no doubt about that. All right, let's get down to track number 4 on the broadcast today, everyone, as Ian says he's ran out of Jack Daniels, apparently. Yeah.
He's done run out?
As Rick Brendel says, it is what it is, Ian, and you just got to get through it, man. You know, he's going to be...
I don't think I can do the rest of the show.
You might be bald by the time it's over after you pull your hair out. You got one more track to go, Ian. Hang in there. It's going to be all right. We'll have an intervention for Ian after the broadcast, everybody, so stick around. It's going to be great.
How about a whip round just to buy me a new bottle?
No, it's going to be an intervention, full-blown. I've already got it planned. I got the cake.
I'll sort it.
Yeah.
I got the rabbi.
See, there you go. It's done. It's a done deal. Here it is.
The Exorcist.
The next track is from the 25th of May. It's from a group called Rocktin Grove. It's called The Path of Least Resistance, and we're going to give it a listen here right now. This is Rocktin Grove's Path of Least Resistance on the hit list.
The air is crisp and cool as a diamond at the end of a cut and stone blade. These other trees are fans of motion with the energy to grow and fade. My eyes are wide with a full night's rest as I watch the turbulent air. The crack of a branch and the rumble of a plane send the sound running crisp and clear. Asunder. The dawn of a bright and brimming air is enough to let me wonder. With every low point there is a renewal, a gradual fade of joy. I tend to live for the moments of precision where I thrive as a wonderful boy. So do what you want, feel what you're doing, laid back, slow step morning. The food's on the table, but I'm unable to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from a land way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn. Take the path of least resistance. Go on as the world keeps spinning. Fruitful force of serene apprehension, let my life flow forth. My eyes are wide with a full night's rest as I listen to the birds, so I wake up best. Emotion is calm in the early dawn as I look to the day. As I look to the day with my arms full drawn. As I look to the day. Do what you want, feel what you're doing, lay back, slow step morning. The food's on the table, but I'm unable to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from the land, way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn, take the path of least resistance. morning. The food's on the table, but I'm hardly able to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from a land way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn. Take the path of least resistance. Get to do what you want, feel what you're doing. Lay back, slow, Sam morning. The food's on the table, but I'm hardly able to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from a land way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn. Take the path of least resistance.
Rocktin Grove, Path of Least Resistance on the hit list here. And I want to find out what Robert thinks about it first. Bob, what do you think?
I think it's a very commercial tune. It seems to be very well produced. Again, I don't look at the production value as closely as Tom does because that's his life. But just from a standpoint of being a former radio programmer, I would look at it and say it's a very radio-ready sort of tune. It's got a nice hook to it. The vocals are good, nice harmonies. I don't really see anything wrong with it. I don't think that it's not top 10 material, but I don't think but I do think it's definitely a good radio tune.
All right, very cool. Over to Tommy. Tommy, how about you? What do you think of this one?
I totally agree with Robert. I like it. It's very well produced, and just a sigh of relief as the violin fiddle came in and the horns and everything was in tune, because that could have been a very bad and disastrous bus crash. But they had a lot of stuff going on, and everything was just set and going. So yeah, it's very radio friendly. Again, if someone, if they had a big following or something, it might make top 40. But it's definitely something for some reason I was thinking this song more than the others would lend itself better to a video, and I would probably like it more if it had an accompanying video. But I like it just the same.
All right, makes sense. Over to Ian. Ian, what about you? What do you think of Rocktin Grove?
I really like this track, actually. I mean, more on a personal level than anything. I mean, this has got memories of me. Bands like Dave Matthews, Jason Mraz, English band called Turing Breaks, all that harmony work where they've got the sort of the dual vocal going with the high harmony and the melody really, really stands out nicely, really locks in. Again, the groove is great, the arrangement's good. A mix, if I'm going to be really critical, slightly sharp to my ears, but everything is sitting nice. You can hear everything. And yeah, I've got a lot of time for this track.
All right, well, that makes perfect sense as well. I appreciate it. Now we have to make a decision, gentlemen. I mean, you have to make a decision. I don't. I just sit here and look pretty. No, I don't. I'm not really. Mark Bouts, something to talk about. Fox Blossom with Raleigh, Sack the City Assemblies, Rocktin Grove, and the Path of Least Resistance. Gentlemen, talk it over and let me know what you think.
Well, rumble, rumble, harumph, harumph.
Tough decision, I know.
All right, well, I'm going to jump straight in.
Okay. Fun. Can I guess which one you're going to go for?
Go on, then.
I think you're going to go for number 4.
I am, actually, yes. I'm going to go for number 4. There's a lot of good tracks. I really like track number 2. It's different, it's dark, it's edgy. And I really like track number 1 as well, something to talk about. But I don't know, this one just strikes it for me. It strikes the right chord and makes me want to go back and listen to it again. So I'm going to go for Path of Least Resistance.
All right. Robert, Tom, what do you guys think?
Have you settled yourself yet, Robert?
Yeah, I think I've got my pick here. You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go.
Even though I didn't understand the dialogue and why it was in there, why those voices were in the background, something about Sack the City, I just like the experimental nature of it. I just picture this as being a band that was willing to say, well, let's just try stuff. and I really like that, and I think they pulled it off quite well.
All right, up to you, Tommy.
Wow.
Wow.
This is unexpected.
Because if I was going to put a guess in, I was going to say Tom would go for number one because it's a great song, and it's a sort of I reckon you'd probably enjoy that most out of them.
Well, you guessed correctly. Like I guessed on you. We know each other. We got to stop sleeping together, Ian.
We do not sleep together. I would like that retracted now. I have a reputation to uphold. It's not much of a reputation. You're not helping.
The same bed space doesn't mean.
All right. Move on, Tommy. What do you pick?
I'm torn between 1 and 4. I mean, 2 is very dark and it's edgy and it's experimental and it's got a lot going for it. But 1 I really, really liked, and 4 is, I'm just going to, because of actually what Robert said, is radio ready. I'm going to go with number 4.
Number 4 it is. That'd be Rocktin Grove as your band of the month for the month of June, everybody. And that's another hit list in the can. Wrap it up. It's done. I don't know what all that means, but it sounds good, doesn't it? Anyway, of course, gentlemen, always great having you on, and glad to see you. Glad to see you back again, Robert, as well.
Yeah, and it was nice to be outvoted tonight. The last 3 times I was on here, I always seem to go with the winner. So it was kind of nice to be able to just kind of independently stand up for what I felt was the best of the 4 songs, even though the other 3 are fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a very tough month.
Yeah, I was going to say a very, very tough month. But all 4 songs have got a lot of merits in their own ways.
Absolutely, they really do. If I had to pick one, I'd have picked number 2 after what Robert said. He swayed me. I was going to pick number 4, but Robert swayed me.
It's funny because he swayed me to go to number 4 because when he said it was radio ready, very radio friendly. He said radio like 4 times during his little quick set there.
Robert's a radio guy, though.
But number 1 could, any one of these really could be radio ready. 4 with probably a good mastering job. Same thing with 1. The other 2, they do need a little work, but I think we've made the right choice, and I'm sure that all the bands will do what they feel is appropriately correct. I've got my bulletproof vest and chainmail.
Tom, if you get any letters in boxes or packages, make sure they're not ticking. It's fine.
I have Alana open my mail first.
I was going to say, I'm the only one who knows your address anyway, so it doesn't matter. They're all from me.
I know his address as well.
You do? What's his address?
I can't publicise that over the...
I'm hoping to sneak it out of you rather than out of me, Well,
I know which piece of corn you sit down by, Rich.
Well, never mind. We're not going there, Tom. It's just the way it is. All right, everybody out in the chat room, of course, thank you for being with us. We do the hit list every second Wednesday of the month, so the next one's going to be in July. Don't have a calendar in front of me, so I can't tell you exact dates, but of course you can find out by tuning into MSI Music Scene Investigation every Sunday at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. GMT. It's where we find these wonderful songs from the indie artists who submit them in, and we review them and select a song of the week every week on
it's the
Music
9th.
Scene Investigation. The 9th of July it is.
9th of July.
And I bet you it's a Wednesday.
It should be. I bet it's the second Wednesday as well. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for being with us. Ian, Robert, and Tom, thank you as well. We're going to play out with the guys and gals from Rocktin Grove, Path of Least Resistance, here on the Hit List. So we'll talk to you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody.
The air is crisp and cool as a diamond at the end of a cut and stone blade. Leaves of the trees are fans of motion with the energy to grow and fade. My eyes are wide with a full night's rest as I watch the turbulent air. Crack of a branch and the rumble of a plane send the sound running crisp and clear. Asunder. The dawn of a bright and brimming air is enough to let me wonder. With every low point there is a renewal, a gradual fade of joy. I tend to live for the moments of precision where I thrive as a wonderful boy. So do what you want, feel what you're doing, laid back, slow step morning. The food's on the table, but I'm hardly able to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from a land way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn. Take the path of least resistance. Let the thoughts go on as the world keeps spinning. Fruitful force of serene apprehension, let my life flow forth. My eyes are wide with a full night's rest as I listen to the birds, so I wake up best. Emotion is calm in the early dawn as I look to the day. As I look to the day with my arms full drawn. As I look to the day. So do what you want, feel what you're doing, lay back, slow step morning. The food's on the table, but I'm hardly able to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from a land way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn. Take the path of least resistance. Slow step morning. The food's on the table, but I'm hardly able to let my day start forming. There's a hand from a man with the pressure from a land way off in the distance. He wants me to earn and not so much learn. Take the path of least resistance. Get to do what you want.